Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles. Today we will be reading from Confessions. Our first post is by Virtual Mind. I called my mom ugly, and it's my biggest regret to this day. I can't remember how old I was, but probably between 5 to 8 years old. My mom was on sick leave because she had been burnt out. It was me, my older sister, and my mom at home. We were all watching TV, kinda crammed up in our small couch. My mom was laying on her side, and me and my sister were sitting next to each other. I looked at my mom and asked her if she wasn't wearing makeup. She said no, and I regretfully remember that I thought I was being funny when I replied with, "You look so ugly." I also remember with horror that my mom started crying. She wasn't mad, she didn't say anything, she just cried silently. I looked at my sister and she kind of shook her head at me as if saying, "No, you can't say that." This is the worst memory of my life. I hate myself every time it comes to mind. I wish I could erase this from my memory. Context. When I was a kid, I was very shy and sometimes didn't speak to people at all. I kind of struggled around people and just how to fit in, act normal. I was a good kid, but I had a lot of anxiety at a very early age and was also very sensitive. I would say or do things that I picked up from my peers because I thought that was normal or even cool. Then I would get in trouble and people were disappointed in me, and I would feel really bad. Why could I never get things right? Is there something wrong with me? I just struggled a lot with how to be a human. I don't know if my lacking behavior skills had anything to do with why I called my mom ugly, but no matter the reason, I hope I can forgive myself one day. It is my deepest regret and a dark memory that I have never shared with anyone. Our next post is by Exanthiel. I'm a terrible, selfish pet owner. I wasn't ready for this responsibility and should never have adopted her. When I was 16, I selfishly wanted to adopt a kitten, even though I wasn't ready for the responsibility. I was struggling with severe depression and OCD. My parents were getting divorced, and I saw that little baby as a savior emotionally. I was staying with my father because his house was close to my school. My mother, wanting me to visit her more, agreed to adopt a kitten. It became clear that I was going to be a terrible cat owner when I felt like giving the kitten back just because she was scared and didn't want to be petted by me in the first week. My mother said I needed to be more patient, and I said okay. A kitten slowly warmed up to me. However, due to school, I wasn't always around, and my mother was also working. She was so small and so lonely. She used to be such a hyper cat. Even in early adulthood, she was still so active and had no one to play with. When the time for sterilization came, and I still wasn't around, she ate more and more due to hormonal imbalances. We thought she was just growing when she got bigger. We only realized she was getting obese when she went over 6 kilograms. By that time, I had already graduated from high school and was able to stay with my cat. I continued to suffer from mental issues, so I was absent from university frequently and could stay home with her. We started to calculate her calorie intake based on veterinary suggestions. We never set the calorie goals ourselves, but she could never get used to it. It has been years. She still cries for more food every day. I feel like she is very sad because of that, and that she doesn't have a good, happy, healthy life. I couldn't give it to her. She is still unable to lose weight and is currently 7.4 kilograms. She sleeps, eats, and sleeps again. She used to be a super active cat, and now it feels like she lost that because of her unhealthy weight. Now that she is also getting older, the hope for her weight issues to improve is diminishing. Today, I had to get her super long fur trimmed because she wasn't able to reach the hair on her back to clean, and she had hair and terrible skin problems. I felt really sad today when they told me they had to use a heavier dosage for sedation due to her weight. When she came home, she vomited and wasn't able to walk properly. Right now, she is sleeping and I'm typing this. She has no serious health problems due to her weight for now, but our veterinarian keeps warning us. I'm doing everything they tell me. We've even switched veterinarians a few times. Nothing is working. I feel like I've ruined an innocent animal's life because I was a selfish brat who wanted a kitten when I couldn't even take responsibility for myself. I don't know what I can do for my little baby to help her regain her health and everything she lost because of me. I wish I could go back in time and fix everything. I can't carry this guilt and heavy regret anymore. Our next post is by Throwaway. Made up a bogus GPA and resume, and it has brought me a lot of success but no happiness. So in college I slacked off big time. Never went to class, studied at most a few hours before my exams. Took a major that I thought would have decent earning potential but no real passion. All this led to me having a 2.4 GPA end of freshman year, and I thought I'll get serious sophomore year. But sophomore year living off campus meant I could keep alcohol in the apartment, have people over, and so not much changed then too. Same old habits and a few new bad ones, and my GPA was around 3.08. My parents, who bankrolled this lifestyle, got sick of me, all for the right reasons, and told me I either get a summer internship or they'll stop funding me. So I conjured up a resume filled with lies and landed an internship for the summer. I put down my GPA as 3.92 and cooked the transcript to match that too, and for multiple interviews and offers. Come summer, I did an okay job at the internship and left with a good amount of money and glowing letters of recommendations. This helped me land my next internship for summer of junior year. I'm going to make $31 per hour this summer. I don't really feel happy or accomplished. Doesn't feel like I earned this. Instead, it feels like I took this internship from someone else, someone who actually deserves it. I am just a goalless, unambitious bum so wants to just get by in life. That's all I've ever wanted. Heck, I'd be happy making 20 per hour too. It's true after all. The fruits of one's hard work taste sweeter, and right now there's no taste in my mouth because I'm a fraud. A phony, a scumbag. Wish I could change, but that desire just isn't in me. Our next post is by Throwaway. I sold a biohazardous camper for a crazy price to a pregnant couple. This is a burner account because I need this off my chest but don't want it tied to me. A relative died gruesomely in a camper. I was next of kin, so I was saddled with the responsibility of getting rid of it. I was told outright that I can't legally sell it until it's remediated, although I'm not convinced that was true. I was also homeless at the time, but this camper was nasty, and the fact that it was my own relative's organic matter all over it, and it had been sitting closed up for weeks. I didn't want to mess with it. I tried calling remediation services but found them to be expensive, and there was really no assistance that I could find for poor people such as myself. After a month of getting nowhere, one of my friends convinced me to put it on Facebook Marketplace for $1,000. I said they were insane, nobody will pay that. I was completely honest in the listing, even with detailed photos. I have no idea how Facebook let me post it with those photos. It was something that would be covered if it was in the news feed. I didn't even take the personal effects out, because none of it was untouched. Within a day of posting, a pregnant woman and her boyfriend showed up and bought it. They said they weren't afraid of some deep cleaning, and they paid $150 below my asking price. I used the money to get into the house I'm still living in now, years later. I still feel like a total piece of crap for putting the couple and their baby at risk for my own personal gain. Thank you for listening to the Reddit Chronicles. Follow for more content.